Hello everyone, greetings from Shifa. I'm gonna talk about profound themes in Kamala Das' poem, which is an introduction. Let me introduce the author Kamala Das. She is born on 31st March 1934, died on 31st May 2009. She is poet, novelist, and short story writer. The theme of a poem, the poet speaks about the feminist problem. Let's get into the poem. The poem is an autobiographical verse. This is confessional poem. The poet pointing out some points. The first point, men as the rulers of country. The poet starts that she doesn't know the politics yet, but she's well aware of the politicians of her country, from near to the ones of her own time. She has memorized the names of all the politicians like day of the week or the name of a month, and she feels that the males have been ruling the country without giving the right to the women. The rulers are lesser in numbers because democracy exists only in words, but in reality, the rules of the country remains in the hands of some people. Then the next point, women are individuals too. Then the poet comes towards to her own life experience. She says that she is an Indian and brown in color, and she is compared to the British. She can speak 3 languages, write in 2 languages. One should be as a universal language. She explains her Indianness, and she shows that the capable of writing and speaking skills. She probably compares herself to the man. She shows that she is no lesser than him. Even she is woman, she is no lesser than him in terms of ability, passion, and creativeness. Then the next point is poet's struggle of freedom. She is being well familiar with the English, and she uses this language to her writings. This habit of her is not liked by friends, relatives, and critics. They all condemn her for writing in English. According to them, English is colonist. She asks them why they criticize her, why she is not given liberty to write in whatever language she desires. The language in which she writes in her own, along with all its imperfection and strangeness, the language is though not fully English, yet she considers it to be honest because, like her, her language is also imperfect like her, which are quite normal things. The language expresses her joys, grief, and hope of he. It is like cawing to crows and roaring it to lions. It is an integral part of her expressions. She further says that her speech is the speech of human that minds can understand, and not strange and queer, like the sound of trees in the storms of the monsoon clouds or of rain of dead, as this voice cannot be understood. Then the next point is her miserable married life. She moves towards her married life. She was a child, although the size of her body grew up. She entered the stage of puberty, yet her soul was immature. As she was still a child, after marriage, she asked for love. However, her husband quenches own lust on the bed. The poet here not only describes her married life but tries to narrate the story of every woman in her country. Her griefs and sorrows are the griefs and sorrows of every woman of her country. And she says that she was not beaten by him, yet her womanly body felt to be beaten and wounded, and thus she got tired of it, her body. His genitals seemed to her as some burden, then have crushed her. She started hating her female body because it is her body, then has given her so much pain. To avoid its load, she tried to become a tomboy by adopting the attire of males, but it was not led by her in-laws. They started taunting her. She was commanded to dress in saris, be like girl, wife, embroider, cook, with servants, etc. She was asked not to hide her real self. Her in-laws even commanded to remain silent and endure her unachieved love. And sum up with the last point, her struggle for the status of I. She meets a man whose name she doesn't mention. The man is, according to her, the every man who desires a woman to quench his lust as a woman desires love from a man. When she asks him about his identity, his answer is I. Hence, like him, she can also attribute the title of I to herself. Like men, she is also sinner and saint, beloved and betrayed. Her joys and pains are no different than those of men. Hence, she emancipates herself to the level of I.